Hey, what's going on, positive people? It's B Plus, and thank you guys for checking out yet another recap countdown. But today is not your ordinary recap countdown. We are going to be taking a look at Indie Tribe's latest release entitled Low Blow. But I got a little bit of help for this one. Please welcome my man, Big Swiss.
What up, B Plus? I'm excited. Thanks for having me, man.
Yeah, this has been a long time coming. I mean, we've known each other for,
About a year?
Yeah. Twitter, we've known each other for a little bit longer, but we finally got a chance to have some lunch about like a year ago.
Yeah.
So I'm excited to be sitting down with you. I had this recap countdown in the works for quite some time, but it just didn't feel right. And I'm happy I didn't do it because now I get to sit down with you and do it. So for those who have not checked out a recap countdown, really quickly, all I do is I take a look at my 5 favorite bars, my 4 favorite beats, my 3 favorite tracks, my 2 favorite features, and I round everything out with one final recap. But I have Big Swiss that's going to help me along the way. This is hard because this is a collective. It's hard to pick out, for instance, favorite bars just because it's 3 people to choose from. And you got the excellent hype man, DJ Mike LV, throwing in his flexes, and it's hard to choose. So I'm bringing you in to kind of fill in the gaps. So what we're going to do, let's see, we are going to kick it off with 5 favorite bars, but I want to get your actual reaction to my picks.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, so this is going to be fun. So you guys buckle up because I feel like this is going to be really, really fun. So let's get ready to check out my 5 favorite bars.
Let's do it.
5 bars.
Survival and living might look the same to the one who don't see. Circles like do-si-do-si. Don't pretend that you cozy. Life ain't Zack and Cody. Finding joy feel like hunting Moby.
I saw you change a little bit to get a little change. Compromise a little bit to get a little fame. In public you holy, in private are you still the same? Who are you really when Temple hit the pillowcase?
Larry had a little lamb and he the reason I'm the GOAT. I wanna learn to walk on water, y'all just wanna buy a boat. I know I've always had a problem just doing what I'm told. God sneezed in my face, but it's a different kind of cold.
I shaved my head so I could grow a bat. Think that's a metaphor for everything I've been through, I'ma tell you about. I deconstructed everything that I believe in back to the beginning and built it back on top of Christ the risen. I'm still
Up in my eyes like what's the reason? I just wanna be righteous, Lord, I'm pleading. I know that my sin had left you bleeding. Won't you have some mercy on this heat?
Man, there's just something about the way that he delivers that heathen line.
Yeah.
Because he's juxtaposing the hook from the beginning, and it almost sounds like a lament.
Yeah.
You know, and like there's something about the way that hits when I heard it, it gave me like goosebumps. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like it just like really hit deep.
Yeah.
The way he delivers that line, even just that whole song is incredible.
Yeah, that was I won't give it a head what my 3 favorites are, so I'll hold that comment, but that one really resonated the most with me because I think for me, listen to my 5 favorite bars, the majority of them were like heart bars. A lot of them weren't like heavy on punchlines.
Yes, same.
So like there was one, actually I left my notebook at home, and I hate that I left that because I jotted down some notes, but it was John Keith. I can't remember where I had it on the countdown, but he said the difference between surviving and living. Like it's hard to tell like if somebody's like really like living or they're just really surviving. So I thought that was really dope. It was just from top to bottom. I feel like Mowgli rapped his face off on this entire project. I felt like he, obviously he's more into like what would you say, like the more pop.
Well, he calls it hyper rock.
Hyper rock.
Yeah, that's like what he calls it.
Okay.
So he's kind of starting the hyper rock movement. But man, dude's got range. I mean, he can sing, he can scream, he can rap.
Nobody can deliver a hook like him. Like I feel like he's one of the best hook deliverers in Christian hip hop. So, so shout out to you, Mowgli, man. You are a beast at that, and I really do feel like he did a really good job rapping on this project. What were some of the other bars? Because obviously, there's only a few slots, and you have 3 artists. So you gave me, I had you send me some timestamps of some different or some other bars that I may have missed. So I'm gonna go ahead and switch gears and try to get that pulled up for you here.
Okay.
All right. So what was one of the other bars by, let's go with, let's see. Let's start with John Keith. What was another bar from John Keith that you liked that I didn't pick?
For me, it was, let's see. I went, because when I sent you this, I tried to do my favorite ones from each one. The one I picked from John is on Rich. And it's
let me pull that up here. All right, so let's give a quick listen to this real quick.
I just lying, I'm Daniel. I said bite all that bull. Please don't try. I'm a handful. Who's that? Try, don't get trampled. Hey kid.
Yes, that was tough.
So the reason why I like it is because he says, "Y'all just lying. I'm Daniel." And if you know,
Old Testament bars,
Old Testament, but also he's going to be the voice of Daniel in the anime that is doing like a hip hop version of Old Testament.
Is Chad Smith doing that?
Yes.
Okay.
I think that's who it is. But John Keith is the voice of Daniel in that. And so it's like, if you know that, it's even a deeper bar. And then two, the whole song is talking about like going into the lion's den. And so, like,
I have to go back and listen to it.
Yeah, it's like a 3-level bar, and then 2, the delivery, like the like that, guttural sound in his voice, where he's like, don't get trampled. Like, I really like that delivery.
Yeah,
and John, I think I've been following John since King's Dream days, and I feel like every release he increases the letter grade, and he's been at an A for the last 3 releases. So like, I don't know how much higher he can go.
Yeah. I have to really get into Eremos.
Yeah.
I was really busy during that time. It was the early part of the year, and like I need to go back and revisit that because I feel like I missed out. I got some of the highlights of it, but I really didn't dig into the album like I should have.
Go back, dude. It's gonna be on my top 10 this year for sure.
Got it. Well, let's switch to Mowgli. What was the bars from Mowgli?
Mowgli actually picked the same cut that you picked.
Do you have another one? I feel like you had one from Sliding that we
that was from Sliding. That's the one you picked.
That is the one I picked?
Yeah.
I
went Sliding 158 to 214.
All right, let's just double check real quick.
Keep it a bug, man. I went off the rails. After I had my heart broken, cut in half and impaled. I cut the light out from the source. I didn't handle it well. My body counting to the moon. I put my spirit through hell, but still I see redemption when I look at my wife, and I'm reminded of the goodness found in following Christ. Now I'm flying around the country, rocking crows.
Yes, I'm glad you picked that one. That's a different one. I like that one just because like the transparency. Like they don't have to let us into like that portion of their life and like letting us know that like he got hurt and then he took and did what a lot of people do. We become numb when we get hurt. We don't feel it. We become numb, then we go out and we do terrible things. In his case, he ran his body count up. Yeah. So kids, if you don't know what that means,
ask your mom.
Yeah, ask mom later.
But I think for the reason it resonates with me, it's the same story I have.
Exactly.
In my past. And so the way he articulates it is really well. And then 2, he and I are both on the other side of marriage now, and like have seen like how the sanctification of marriage can change you and grow you, and you can see the redemption by seeing how you grow with your spouse. And I think that's something that single people can't experience yet.
Yeah, it's true. So let's go ahead and get that last dilly bar. So let's get this pulled back up. So what was your separate dilly bar that you liked?
My favorite verse from the whole full verse is No Big Deal's verse from Rich from the whole record.
Okay.
But the one my favorite bar is from Below the Belt.
Below the Belt. Let me make sure I got that pulled up here. All right, so let's check this one out.
Seed is what you need, huh? Little living water plus the sun will grow a tree, huh? Obedience be the fruit and Putin even bow a knee when Jesus come through clouds and breeze. Yeshua is more correct if I perfectly exegete. What y'all thought this was?
He just always has a way of like using almost like, he's using seminary terminology here. He's talking about exegesis and like how do you break down words, and he's doing it in a bar that people need to break down. I mean, it's like a super meta bar.
Yeah.
Like, you have to know what those terms mean to even like break down what he's trying to say. Mm-hmm. And I love it when a rapper can do that.
Yep.
And he's notorious for doing that.
Yeah, Dilly's like one of those sleeper artists for me, just because like he was kind of bubbling, like kind of below the surface, and then we had Lowercase Mixtape,
mm-hmm.
and then he's just been hitting with a lot of singles. Obviously, he has some things going on with Indie Tribe, but like every time he releases a single, every time he's a feature, it's like he captivates your attention. Like he demands you to pay attention to him, and I didn't see him exactly coming. I knew he was talented, but I didn't see that. I feel like he's like a voice right now for like that younger CHH group. Like obviously, like people like KB are like that for like that.
Mm-hmm.
People who have been around a little bit longer, mm-hmm. but no big deal. I feel like he might be like that next wave.
Yeah, I think. So the thing that I appreciate about Dylan is he never doesn't have a Christ metaphor mixed in the bar. In fact, mm-hmm. every single verse probably has I feel like he has a quota that he's trying to hit. When I did a president breakdown, which I should probably do a video on, mm-hmm. I think I counted 17 Bible verse references in the 16 bars.
Wow.
And so, I mean, he just never misses an opportunity. And to your point about like how he came up, I think it was that Willie song that really like got his
one with Andy.
Yeah, with Andy. That's what got me onto him. I'm like, because during that time I was Andy Minio's the greatest.
Yeah.
And then I heard that song. I was like, I should really listen to No Big Deal more.
Yeah.
And I think since then, I mean, the stuff he did before that is phenomenal. Like Solar is one of my favorite albums of all time.
Mm-hmm. I
just hadn't listened to it until Willie came out, and I was like, I should listen to this guy.
Oh, so you went back and caught that one?
Yeah, I went back and caught that. And now I would say he's my favorite.
That's a big statement.
Hey, he's consistent.
You listen to a lot of Christian hip hop, so saying he's your favorite, that's.
Well, my criteria might be different than somebody else.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
absolutely. Absolutely.
I know you saw that thing. We were having that conversation about like top 5 lyricists. And whenever someone in Christian hip hop does that, someone's like, why didn't you put this person on it? Well, it's like, well, my criteria is just a little different. Like, is Jay Monty probably like the best metaphor writer? Absolutely.
Yeah.
He's not my favorite lyricist though, because he's a single guy. Like, he's not making albums that like make me like go through a story like Solar does. Or
man, have you checked out his EP Free Me?
I don't think I have. Maybe I have. The last one I listened to was Testify Volume 1.
Yeah, and then he had Testify Volume 2. It happened, but it never really came out on streaming services. But he had an EP called, I think it's called Free Me.
Okay.
Where he tells the story about how like he lost his first marriage and
oh wow,
yeah,
I'm gonna give it a listen.
Free Me, like literally that song. Like I have a handful of songs. I'm thinking about doing a series of like Christian hip hop that made me cry and just talk about those particular songs. Free Me made my eyes water.
Yeah.
So go check it out. I think you'll like that.
Okay.
I think you'll like that one. So with that being said, let's go ahead and let's get ready to get into the 4 favorite bars.
Let's do it.
You ready?
Yep.
Let's do it.
4 beats.
Can't win with all this flesh and blood, this body is that is ratchet. Oh, I know.
Stuck in my head, a competitive dude. My only mission be better than you. All of the sins that I tell in the booth, smelling real rude, peppy lip. I was a full of rebellious youth. She was a drug and a better masseuse. Had an effect like a sedative dude. She passed the pipe, it was peppy lip.
Better than lemon, I'm ready to eat. I got an attitude, yup, like easy. I had to blow the lab like DD. I got a problem with friends, don't feed me. All of you boys look cool and bleed me. Come on and give me, they kinda like CC. Come on and give me, they kinda like
I could never go the ways of the masses. Ay, couldn't be a slave to the lashes. Rather die than a life full of average. Got a King James and it came with a cane, with a cane, with a cane.
Nearly gave my heart to the race, but now I'm pacing it. Saw the elephant in the room, but now I'm caging it. Almost almost saw the machine, but now I'm raging it. Then I almost gave up my dream, but now I'm praying it. Don't shoot the messenger, please. I'm just relaying it.
I'm not sure who produced that. Look that up really quick. But did anything shock you?
I wouldn't have thought "Don't Shoot the Messenger" would have been on your top.
Really?
Yeah.
I think it was just like, I mean, I know you're big for this too. I mean, I know you have the. I mean, we're actually at Big Swiss Studios right now. I don't know if that's the name, but you have the Sonos speakers, and we actually were listening to that song a little bit earlier while we were getting things set up. It's so much intricate things going on in it.
There's a lot of layers.
Yeah. And I think that just kind of took it over the top for me.
Yeah.
It's not like a.
Here. I'm gonna ask Michael. Hold on, let me text him real quick.
Go ahead and do it. And man, I feel like, matter of fact, I'm gonna try to look it up as well while we're still talking. Pepe Le Pew, like you said, that bass line on there was just amazing.
Bro.
You couldn't really go wrong with that one. And I had Don't Shoot the Messenger as my top one. I wish I had my notebook. It's terrible that we're sitting here doing an album review and I don't have my notebook with all my notes in it. But those are my favorite four. A lot to choose from. I do feel like CC was cheating a little bit, but I was just like, it's too dope of a track. It's been out for over a year easily.
Yeah. I mean, they shot the video for CC at Smoke Fest last year.
That's a good point.
Yeah,
I do remember that. Well, I wasn't there, and you've been there. I'm going next year.
Oh, he says Scooty Wop produced it.
It does say WAP you made this at the beginning. Not in my ear.
Oh, yeah, I hear it now too.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Wow. Okay. All right.
Thanks,
that,
Michael.
Yeah, appreciate it. So those are my four favorites. Let's just keep pushing.
Yeah.
Let's go ahead and go for the top three.
Hold on, hold on. I'm gonna tell you my favorite though, because my number one favorite you don't have on your top four.
I don't. Your number one favorite.
My number one favorite beat was Free. That song to me is like worship to me.
Fair.
And it fits kind of. I actually said this in my initial reaction video that I did. I felt Free and Pepe Le Pew should have been back to back because they both have like a very jazz bass kind of motif to them.
Okay.
I can almost see someone standing up with a standing bass in the background.
Okay, what's the order? So Pepe Le Pew. Okay.
I would go Pepe Le Pew, take out, I think Plan is in the middle. Is that right?
What's the use?
I would have.
So what's the use of what's the use?
I would have put that after Free or before Pepe Le Pew.
Fair. That's a fair take because the reason why I had the reaction I had to you saying that was your favorite is because it never fails me when I do an album review right after I get done blending everything down and getting all the visuals, a new song just hits me. It happened to me on KB's album. Mm-hmm. But once again, a track with Scooty Wop on it. Who the Sun Sets Free. That was nowhere on my radar.
Yeah.
And I think I had a bar on there that I liked that I chose for my 5 favorite bars, but it just hit me later. Same thing with Free.
Yeah.
Like Free, after I've done the album review, I probably listen to that song the most. So if I were to do this over again, I think Free would be close to the top three.
They closed out their set with Free at Smoke Fest, and they had like a live drummer. It was incredible.
Really?
Yeah.
Really. So let's go ahead and get into my 3 favorites.
3 favorites.
Right. Okay.
They hate me, but I'm still going down.
I like it.
Used to slip, now
This is probably my favorite.
mouth full of gold.
Yeah.
Used to blow, now we shining. Came up quick, used to slip,
I love it.
now we sliding. Stuck to
Black and white, right?
cold, used to blow, now we shining. Yeah, hey kid, look what Yahweh did. Talk to me like I'm rich, like I'm rich. I ain't got ice on my wrist. Living water as my drip. Homie, please don't slip. Told devil we ain't friends. Stop trying to talk to the kid. Talk to the kid. Switch up, that don't make sense. Hell, maybe that's cause I'm rich. Baby, ain't no manifest, I'm reaping what I'm sowing. Yahweh told me he would do it and he wasn't joking. He the difference between how it was and how it's going. Wet, whole team going dumb in the chat. Nobody frontin', I came from way in the back. We was cool until we went and got attacked. Started making movies, now we done. Okay, let's take 2.
Yeah.
3.
That's a good top 3.
And then, like right after that, right where I cut it off, Dilly's cadence when he came in on act, it was just too much. It was too much. And I remember when I listened to that, right at 11 o'clock because we're Central Time.
Yep.
I was like, I'm playing this on my show.
Yeah.
I led my show the next day with it, and I was like, this is going to be the song that I'll probably play the most off of it. And I mean, looking by the Spotify streams, it's one of the more I mean, obviously CC came out a year and a half before, so that's like over 3.5 million.
Yeah.
Rich was one of the singles. It's like almost at 500,000. Sliding was a single. That's around 25 or 325K. Act is right up there, close to like 250K. So it's a very popular song. I feel like I read that one right.
Well, and Act is the one that they kind of did all the marketing when the album released on Instagram. They did
really?
All their little all the reels.
See, I wasn't on Instagram yet. I'm recently on there.
That's right. You just joined. So they did all their videos were their verses, and they were like walking down the street rapping it.
Okay.
Same with Below the Belt, I think. But
Got you.
This is the thing about this album. I'll say that I didn't say this on my initial review, but now that I've had more time to listen to the album, this is the hardest album that I've had in a long time. Where I like every day I have a new favorite song.
That's true. I think that's fair too.
It's really like even just 40 Days. Like that song is probably one of the best intro songs I've heard in a long time.
Yeah. I think that's one of my favorite intros of the year. Hallelujah is my favorite intro of the year, Derek Minor. You know how I feel. I think you had some comments about. I said he's the best intro person ever. You were like, Andy Mineo, and I was like, I think you're right.
I just
Derek Minor and Andy are like 1 and 1A.
Yeah. So actually, it's funny.
1A and 1B.
My wife and I, we just did a trip to go visit her parents. It's like a 5-hour drive, and I was just like sitting there DJing. She's like, "Hey, I'll drive. You just DJ and rest." And I just was like, I haven't listened to Andy Mineo in a while because he hasn't made anything in a while, and I've just been going. And I was like, hey, let's do something fun. Let's play all of the Andy transition tracks from his last 3 albums back to back, and see which one we like the most. Because the last 3 projects he did, Neverland, it's
like a ... and then it's like a ...
Yep.
Okay.
And so there's 3 of them. Except for the Arrow, it was the intro track and the final track, but you can kind of play with that a little bit and cheat it. And so we played those 3, and we would rank them as we were driving. And it's really fun that my wife likes to play those little games with me. So
man, I Am Falling.
I Am Falling is the best intro to second track in the history of record making, in my opinion.
Big strong claim. We need air horns.
Personal.
Okay. You clarified. Okay. But I mean, gosh, you're kind of onto something because
be on the lookout. I'm actually going to do like an intense breakdown of why it's so good.
Okay.
And why he is so good at doing that. But we can save that conversation for another day.
I've been
Lost.
Yes.
And then Always. It's gonna bother me.
Go ahead and get it. We got a little bit of time. So the Arrow was I've Been Lost, but those weren't exactly back to back. They were kind of
the
Arrow.
Yeah, I've Been Lost and Almost There, and then Happy came. The Happy Words came in the middle, or whatever that was. That came
Almost
out.
There is so good. I think you're right.
I mean, the way he
does you just convinced me.
The way he does those, like, it just sets a thematic, like, theme line for the album.
Mm-hmm.
And I will make the case in the video I'm going to make that this is what makes albums better than releasing singles. So, like, artists that just do singles, this is the thing that keeps me going back to Andy is those intro tracks. I'm
notorious in my house for shuffling all my like songs on Spotify, and it's like 3,686. A lot of songs. Whenever I come across an Andy song, I end up taking it off of shuffle and just listen to the whole album.
Yeah.
That happens with him. It happens with Jay Given's album, Fly Exam.
That's a great album.
Oh gosh. It happens with almost all of Propaganda's albums.
Yeah.
I end up I just hop off. And there's a few others. There's a few others that make me stop my shuffling ways. So.
But I'll say this: 40 Days feels like what Andy does with the intro, because John Keith does the intro verse. It's a completely different beat. You hear that 9/5 beat comes in, Dill does the hook, then verse. It feels like the way that Andy does it.
Yeah.
So I think it's one of the best intros of the year, and that's probably one of my favorite boom bap beats of the year. Say that 3 times fast.
I'm not even gonna try.
It sounds like, you know what it sounds like? It sounds like it belonged on Bodega, and then they're like, no, we're keeping this.
I think you're right.
Yeah.
You might have to text DJ Mike OV again. Let's go ahead and switch, and let's talk about 2 features that weren't 2 features on this project. There weren't.
Yeah,
because it's just
this is going to be a shock for me. You haven't previewed this for me.
No, I haven't told you what I was going to do. So last time when Upper Hand came out, what I did was I called it my 2 flexes, and I just took 2 times where DJ Mike OV was just talking and stuff, and I just put both of those on there and talked about it seems like it's not important to the album, but he is. Can you speak a little bit, just because obviously you do have a relationship with DJ Mike OV? What do you think his significance on the project is?
Michael is like a creative director. He understands, and they all do. He understands how to create a holistic vision for a project. I mean, just look at Bodega. It is a 90s era East Coast boom bap project. It's like he went back in time, pulled out Wu-Tang Clan and every New York, Bronx, Brooklyn rapper, threw them in there and converted them to Christianity and had them rap. You know what I mean? That's what Bodega is. And when you look at what Upper Hand is and then what Low Blow is, you can see how they all went more cohesive in just how thematic all the songs sound together. And this isn't a knock against Upper Hand. Upper Hand was my favorite album of 21. Okay. 21. But Low Blow just feels like it's a much more cohesive project, right? And I think that's Michael bringing in the producers, getting 95, getting Scooty Wah, getting Nate Rose, getting these guys in the room, Eli in there again, to do the thing, because here's the thing that I've noticed, and I've only hung out with him twice. But when we're in the car and we're talking music, his insight is just way deeper than the average fan. Right? He's a DJ. He knows how to mix things to create a feeling, to create a soundscape. And so having him on Indie Tribe allows a project like Low Blow to feel elevated. And I'm excited for what they're going to do with Tori Deshawn in the mix too. So,
and that's the perfect segue, because that is what the 2 features are about. So they're not exactly features, but I've been a Tori Deshawn fan for a long time. I've been every time he drops a single, I'm on top of it. I know he had the album Permanent a while back. I didn't know about him then. I just started catching on to him when he started dropping all these different singles. So what I want to do is just have 2 of my favorite singles that he's dropped.
Okay, great. Let's do it.
That's what we're going to do here. Let me go ahead and get things queued up here so you can check out my 2 favorite singles by the newest member, Tori Deshawn. So
this is actually this is good.
You excited?
I am actually. I wasn't expecting that. I thought you were going to do something different.
All right, here it goes.
2 features.
You in the wrong, but you the one getting mad. Came with the facts, but I went out sad. Lord have mercy, the pride is playing souls for keeps, and I don't want to be 1, 2, or 3 or 4. Do you want to live in the light or not? Is you finna fight the good fight or not? Got to put my pride aside and go and apologize. Am I finna speaking to the
I was torn between Catfish, and also he has another song that it's not a radio type of hit. Oh, what's the name of it?
The elevator one?
No, that's dope too.
That's my favorite Tori song.
Really?
Yes, I love that song. And
what's
the track he just did with Hovey?
It's the one with him and Hovey are cheat code. if they came out with an album,
oh my gosh,
it would be a problem.
We actually just we saw them when they came to Dallas, Hovey and Tori. They came the week before Smokefest, and Melissa and I went, and she kind of heard Tori, but she came out of that a huge Tori fan.
Oh, they have so many Crack the Tomb, that's a dope song they have together.
Yep.
Love Like That.
Yeah, I'm not a big Love Like That fan, to be honest.
You don't really,
actually. But the one he did, it was last year. Was it Chosen or? Oh, man, I gotta go with
Closer.
Closer. Thank you. That song's on another level, bro.
Yeah.
And the music video.
Oh, I forgot about Cat. I didn't even consider Catfish.
Catfish is fire.
He had a single. I just looked it up. 2021 called "Change the Channel."
I don't think I've heard that song.
Just go listen to it.
Okay.
I think, matter of fact, don't listen to it. Do a reaction to it.
Okay. All right.
That I just gave Big Swiss homework in his own studio.
Okay.
I gave him homework. So yes, just set up your camera and just check out Change the Channel. I don't think there's a music video for it. Check if there's a music video. If not, then just react.
He played some unreleased stuff.
Oh, really?
At the Holvey show. That
Really?
was like transparency track stuff that gave me goosebumps. And
He's
like
so
I
talented.
couldn't tell you, I couldn't like replay it for you right now. I just remember what I felt in the moment, and I was like, I can't wait to hear wait to hear this in the studio version.
Yeah, man. We need to. I could probably do a top. Does he have 5 songs with Hovey?
I don't know, maybe he might. I know he's got 4.
Different.
Yeah.
I'm different. I'm different. You know that song?
Yeah.
That's on like the summer playlist from like 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Part of
I bet he does have 5 tracks with Hovey.
They need to just do an album.
Yeah,
do the right thing.
They do.
Do an album. Do the right thing. Do an album. So, man, with all that, Big Swiss, any parting shots? One final recap of the project. I actually kind of asked some of the questions along the way for the final recap. One of them was going to be about your thoughts on DJ Mike V's impact being not just a hype man, like he's more than that. Yeah. So you kind of covered that. I was going to ask you like what you thought about like the comparison between Upper Room and Low Blow. I hate comparing albums, but they're the same group, so I'm okay with doing that. Man, I'm trying to think, is there anything else? Because some guy left his notebook at home, so I don't have all my notes with me. Man, is there any parting shots you have with Low Blow?
I mean, it's probably going to be in my top 3 of the end of the year.
You think so?
I mean, right now it's sitting at number 2 for me. There's one album ahead of it that hasn't come out yet that I've heard.
We won't talk about what it is.
We won't talk about it yet.
We don't want to get our hands slapped.
But this is probably the album that will have the highest plays for me this year. Like as far as replayability, the other album that I'm referring to, it's my favorite because it's personal. Like it's very like, hey, this is actually my story too. Kind of similar to what we were talking about with Mowgli's verse on Slidin'. But sonically speaking, lyrically speaking, how much fun the album is, how much I've probably just played it. I mean, this is definitely going to be one that, I mean, I got the vinyl the second they put it on sale.
Really?
You know, you can call me an Indie Tribe stan. I don't care. Like they cannot, they can't go wrong. Like they haven't missed.
Yeah. They haven't given
They
haven't given you a reason to say otherwise.
Not only that, they're humble dudes personally. You know, they put on a good show, and man, you got to come to Smoke Fest next year with me, man. Like
I got to do it.
It's just such an experience, and the fact that they did all that year after year to increase and to create a community aspect the way that they do. There's no egos, there's no chip on shoulders, and it's because they're all there because they know like what the Indie Tribe represents, and it's community, and it's
like Mike L.B. said in one of his in one of the tracks, he said like it's you, like you're the tribe, you're Indie Tribe,
exactly. And so you know, I think that's what they do best. I have a buddy at work, his name's Aaron Collins. Shout out to Aaron Collins. And whenever I bring him into my office to listen to a Tribe song, he goes, man, it just sounds like they're having fun.
Yeah.
And that bleeds through the project. And they can do that, and then they can still make a song like Pepe Le Pew. They can still make a song like Free. They can still make a song like Slide In, where it's deep, but you want to keep listening to it.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And so, man, hats off to the boys.
I just thought about something.
What?
We have not talked about one track on here that we need to talk about. The last track.
Tribal Council too?
Yes.
I mean,
I feel like you have something you need to say about that.
That song's nasty, bro.
I'm gonna give you the full camera here. Go ahead.
Okay, so Tribal Council 1, I think, is like the penultimate Christian hip hop track.
Okay.
Tribal Council 2 just takes it up another notch.
Yeah.
I feel like the beat switch is dope.
Is that 95 again on that?
I think it is 95 on that track.
I mean, he switches the beat like it's almost like the first beat is like, I don't know all the different courses of a meal, but it feels like you just ate something fantastic, and then it's like the chef just comes in and like wipes off the table and just like puts down, and you're like, wait a minute, like what is this?
Right.
I feel like that's what 95 does with his beat switch. He's done it with the opening track on Bodega. He did it. He did it on. He's done it a lot. We'll just say that. So keep going. Sorry, I cut you off on your moment.
The thing. Well, I'll say this about the whole album, and then I'll point out what really stands out to TC2 is every song has a moment that you'll instantly think about when someone mentions the song. And for me, on Tribal Council 2, it's not even like a clever bar. It's not even like this wow moment. It's all about the delivery of when John Keith goes, I can't die. I gave myself, or like, I can't lie. I gave myself to Yahweh. I can't die. Like the way that kind of like he's going bada 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 bada, and he like freezes, and it's like, pay attention to this part.
What's it? Yes, and on that song, is that the one where he says like, you couldn't cancel me, you didn't choose me?
I think so.
Like when I said it now, and I get the goosebumps.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't know. That just resonates with me.
Yeah, there's a guy in one of my chats who's like, I don't like John Keith. He doesn't talk about Jesus enough. I'm like, bro, do you understand metaphors? Like, how are you a hip hop fan?
Yeah,
like
that's how it works.
Make that comment. Like, all of his bars are deep biblical metaphors.
Yeah, he's dope. Yeah, so Tribal Council, the overall cadence. Like, I feel like everybody was unique, but everybody. I'll say that I feel like on the surface, Tribal Council was just such a hype, rah, like especially a Michael V coming in at the end.
Yes.
I was expecting that again with Tribal Council. And then when I didn't get it, my first listen, I was just like, oh man, that wasn't what I wanted. And then when the second listen, the third listen, I was like, oh, like it's sometimes you don't need to one up something and do it the same way. Sometimes you need to take a sidestep. And I feel like that's what they just kind of did with Tribal Council. It really caught me off guard. The first listen, I was kind of like, meh. And then the second listen and third just
let me give you a thought on that.
Okay.
Here's my guess as to why they did that.
Okay.
They announced Tory Deshawn at Smokefest 2 weeks after they dropped Low Blow.
Okay.
And then they dropped Still Holy today.
Mm-hmm.
That's today, the recording.
Mm-hmm.
They probably have another album coming. And within at this calendar year.
At least an EP.
Maybe more.
Okay.
That's my guess.
Okay.
I don't know.
You don't have anybody's number on your phone or
anything? I don't have anyone's number. I don't know. I definitely haven't heard anything from it. But if you think about it, they played Rich last Smokefest for the fans. They sit on songs. Indie Tribe sits on songs.
So there could be something already kind of.
What I do know is that Tory was in the room when they recorded Low Blow. So my guess is they probably did a double album. Second album is all Tory stuff.
And Still Holy is just the lead single.
That's my guess.
I mean, there's breadcrumbs here.
You heard it here first.
There's dots. But do they connect?
We'll see.
That's the question.
If they drop another album before 2023 ends,
you heard it here first.
Right
here on the Be Positive Music channel or B Plus Music channel. Be Positive is the music show. So, man, this was a lot of fun. We got to do this again. I'll have to pick another album, and it's fun revealing it. I learned that when I had the opportunity to do the review with KB, and just being able to see his face. That was really cool. I did the same thing with Too Cool Tiff, and she's super dope.
I still haven't watched that one. Man, that Saul album is that's cold.
Yeah, she has it. If there's somebody that DJ Michael V needs on Bodega
I did
2.
put her name on my list. I'm like,
Nice.
you better get Too Cool Tiff on here.
Nice. So, man, this has been fun. Thank you for allowing me in your studio.
No, thank you for having me, man. I appreciate it.
This has been the recap countdown of Indie Tribe's latest project entitled Low Blow. I am B+. This is Big Swiss, and we'll catch you guys next time. Be positive, y'all.